What up, fellas? It's your boy Freelance here this afternoon. I hope you all had a great Christmas and I hope you're looking forward to 2021. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of, looking forward to it. 2020 was a shit year across the boards, and unfortunately hip hop really isn't that much of an exception to the rule. Now, there were some stuff that I liked. There was one project that I felt like was borderline like B plus A minus to me personally. I'll get into that later on. And there were several other projects that were in the B range, and I felt like there were a fair decent amount of rappers who put out songs that I liked. Now, obviously there are many factors to how I would rank for rappers of 2020. First of all, there would be like replay value, the most important. Like, obviously, I'm going to be listening to X rapper more, or I'll put them higher up on a list if I listen to it more. That's just the reality of it. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is the contributions vocally to the song. So, for example, the way they approach the song, how they enhance the song with the flow, with the way they're rhyming, with the rhyme schemes, with the vocal delivery, and things like that. The next thing I'm going to say is like their impact. I'd say impact, like how many other rappers were hopping onto their sound, right? Now this year there wasn't really a rapper, like last year Pop Smoke when he came out the gate with W1, that was a really pivotal point for hip hop in my opinion, because a lot of rappers since then have hopped onto that sound. But so that would be an example of what I mean. So impact is important, but it's kind of hard to really quantify this year, especially within a period of a year, right? And another thing I want to say is obviously the contributions to songs vocally, like the pocket they hit for the beats, things like that. I kind of touched on that earlier. And I'll say lastly, a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this one, and that's fine. Lyrics. Now, lyrics are important, but they're not the end all be all to me personally, especially because I look for guys who have cutting edge stuff, who have interesting vocals and stuff like that. Now, the people cutting edge stuff over the past 10 years, really, ultimately 90% of them are not aren't very good lyricists, right? Let's just be realistic about this, right? Now, there are people who are cutting edge and do have great lyrics, for example, like Run the Jewels 2013, for example. I love the first Run the Jewels album, very cutting edge in my opinion. But with very few exceptions over the past 10 years, that hasn't really been the case, and this year, unfortunately, it's more so than ever. But I will always give credit to, good lyrics and good lyricists and good bars and things like that, as we'll touch on in this video. So, let's start this off with 19. There are 19 rappers this year that have ultimately impressed me to some degree. Now, 19, the first few, only not that much, but 19, I'll give it to Future. Mainly for Rockstar Chains and the song they did with Lil Uzi Vert, Tic Tac. Now, Rockstar Chains was on a Baby Pluto project, the collaborative album he did with Uzi Vert, but this was a solo cut, so I'll really count this as a Future song. It was a decent song, it's cool. The beat was nice, had a decent groove to it, he sounded good in it, and same thing with Tic Tac, that was a really good song. And he hit the park with it, and it was decent. There were a couple of okay songs on it as well, but those were the two highlights for me from both the collaborative album they did and the deluxe version as well, with the bonus songs, right? Next one I'm going to mention, very disappointing use of song on the list. I was looking forward to this project. I loved the leaks from last year, and that's Playboi Carti. I loved A Lot on My Mind, Molly, Can't Relate, Can is it? Or I think Kids. There was like at least 5-10 songs that I loved from last year, right? And last year was really the year that I really started to get into Playboi Carti, and early this year, and went back. Self-titled mixtape was brilliant. The Dialect had like 4 great songs on it in my opinion, and then like I mentioned, 5 great leaks from last year. He's on a trajectory to really be one of the best artists of the new school, and this album, Whole Lot of Red, it wasn't it. And the 2 songs that were good in it were leaks, right? Place and New Neon, or Snippets, whatever you want to call it, right? And those are the only 2 good songs on the whole album, so I gotta give him credit. 2 good songs is better than a lot of rappers, puts him in I give him a mention, but I was disappointed with A Whole Lot of Red, right? I wanted him to be higher, because while he's not a great lyricist or anything, he's cutting edge, he has his own sound, his own style, and he has worked with some of the best producers, so very disappointing in the album, but hey, 2 good songs is 2 good songs, so gotta give him credit for that. Number 17, sorry, Playboi was 18. Number 17, I'm gonna go with Nas. 27 Summers was a good song. Lyrically, if I'm gonna do this lyrically, he would definitely be top 10, maybe even top 5, top 10 lyricists of this year easily. But for me personally, I wasn't huge in King Disease from a production standpoint. I felt like, or at least, it wasn't even that like it was whack, it was just, the songs were almost there. you don't do almost dope, and almost dope for a guy like Nas isn't good enough. If you're working with arguably the best rapper of all time, you want great beats. You know, you want, or at least beats like he can elevate to great songs, right? Like, I wouldn't say Rewind, for example, from Stillmatic is a great beat, but he elevated it to a great beat, right? So that song, 27 Summers, was the only song I really had any replay value to me personally. But Blue Benz, for example, he had great lyrics on, and there were several other songs where Nas killed it lyrically. So I put him number 17 because of this, right? He has some dope stuff for sure. Number 16, Sheff G, No Suburban Part 2. Now, this song gets a lot of replay value for me, especially a few months back. Unfortunately, this is the only Sheff G song that I really gravitate towards, but I really like the, almost sounds like a reversed accordion type thing in the beat, which is great. It sounds really great in my opinion. So I love this song. It's a great song. You know, I love the way I love his cold hearted delivery on it. I love the cold hard bars in it. It's a really good song overall. It's a good song. Yeah, so Sheff G, gotta give him credit, man. That's a great song. I wasn't huge in the mixtape that came with the song, and I wasn't huge in the follow-up mixtape shortly after the Pop Smoke album, and nothing else really grabbed me like that, but that song was great, and I gotta give him credit for that. Number 15, Lil Baby. This is mainly for heating up. That song warmed up to me, ironically, but it warmed up to me. That song was kind of hard. That's a really good song, and I think what made me like him was when I heard the bigger picture, and I felt like even though I don't really care for the beat, I love his verses on it, and I really think that was one of the better songs. Not the best song, we'll get into that later on, but one of the better songs that came from the whole George Floyd, you know, situation, and I really like that song lyrically and vocally as well. He also had he almost saved, in my opinion, the 4th Night song, the Pop Smoke song. The song itself is but his verse on it, while it wasn't like amazing lyrically, he did sound really great on it, and I feel like songs like that where he just has like the melodic flow, you know, it was really good and interesting. And you know it's a good flow when Lil Wayne is ripping it off on his cover version of that song, right? You know what I mean? Like, so Lil Baby, man, gotta give him credit, man. He really warmed up to me this year. And yeah, when Big Picture came out, I went back to check out his earlier stuff, and Heating Up was a great song, right? I really like the beat in that one, and he sounds good in it as well. Again, not amazing lyrically, but he has you know, and he definitely killed it this year. You know, he was one of the biggest selling rappers of this year, especially in America. So gotta give him credit for that. And yeah, so Lil Baby, man, he's got some dope stuff for sure this year. Number 14, Run the Jewels. Now lyrically, again, these will be top 5 easily. These guys, Nas, and the next one on the list will easily be, you know, 1, 2, 3, or something like that. You know, roughly that. You know, Run the Jewels. Now, again, all you know thing with this video for groups, I'm just saying them as one. If I had to pick, probably LP, but it's very close. Yeah, so Run the Jewels, that's a great song, and Out of Sight, that's a good song as well. There were a handful of other songs that were okay, but honestly, the problem Run the Jewels 4, it just doesn't have that replay value to me. Like Run the Jewels 1 had that replay value to me. You know, that was, like I mentioned, a really incredibly cutting edge, great song, great stuff across the whole project, right? This one, not so much, but Just was a great song. Out of Sight was a great song as well. Yeah. Next one on the list, Car. Again, Car, lyrically, number 1 this year, easily. Number 13, Car, number 1 this year, lyrically. Easily, to me. Just make sure I got this right. Yeah, so Car, I love Brackets, Mimi Mom, and I forgot the third person, but and the other song, The Eye of a Needle. Those 2 songs are great, you know, lyrically fantastic. The production was kind of cool and interesting, especially The Eye of a Needle, and I love that when they get the vocals, I'm going, you, I love that, it's great. But again, I wish you would kind of move past the whole, you know, spoken word type shtick and move on to more like aggressive hip hop, you know, because the closest we have to that is like, you know, some songs off like Jungle, for example, or some songs of Greek Pedigree. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying you have to hop on like Metro Boomin, but I wish you'd hop onto more like harder boom bappy type beats instead of doing this. But you know, he does his thing. People gravitate towards it. I love Car. I think he's a top 5 rapper over the past 10 years, especially from like 2010 to 2015. Yeah, so gotta give him credit. It was a decent album. Again, not the most replay value, but lyrically it was fantastic. Lyrically, he's number 1, easily number 1. Now, people are gonna hate me for the next few rappers. Number 12, DPD, and yeah, this is mainly for Sniper. Sniper is just a brilliant song. I love Sniper. Tons of replay value out of it, and lyrically, he's alright on it. You know, he's good in it. Like, you know, in my opinion at least. Yeah, so Sniper's a great song. Hard Pass 2, brilliant beat, and he sounded good in it. You know, he had like a pocket on it, which was really cool. Number 11, Skepta. Funny, he doesn't even have a single song this year. He's just on features. You know, he was on Sniper. He was brilliant on Sniper. You know, the whole, you know, I don't get my hands dirty, I don't want to catch the corona. You know, or on Show Out. You know, we got guns big as Kevin Hart. This ain't no joke. You know what I mean? Like, Show Out was a brilliant beat, and it was also a brilliant. You know, like, I love the beat on that one. I love the you know, I love the way he sounded on that one. Part small category chorus as well. And the other one, I See Free Mail, was with Gets, was a cool song, interesting song. Maybe I should put Gets in here, but I wasn't huge on the beat on that one. But I really liked Skepta's verses on it. Gets had some cool stuff, cool verses on it as well. But this is, but I don't know. I don't listen to that song. It doesn't have the same replay value as any of the other songs on this list, unfortunately. So that's why Skepta didn't make the list. Number 10. Again, this is kind of a toss-up because really it's Electronica and Jay-Z for Blinding. I love that song. That's one of my favourite songs of the year. Brilliant song. I love both the beat switches. The more I listen to it, the more I like it. The lyrics were phenomenal. You know, Kush crushed up in the studio, rolling cake push up. You know, like Jay-Z killed that shit. Jay Electronica was great in that as well. You know, so that's a great song. I wasn't huge on Act 2. I got a lot of hate for it. That's fine. You know, people feel what they feel about my review. That's fine. But yeah, so I love that song. You know, Universal Soldiers was okay, Flux Capacitor were okay, but Blinding, you know, got so much replay value this year, and lyrically it was amazing. Number 9, Lil B. He had, in my opinion, one of the most heartfelt songs of the year with George Floyd. His George Floyd song was, in my opinion, the best song. Now, I know it's not like the most complex lyrically, but it's straightforward, straight to the point, and the beats are amazing. The beat switches were great, and it really, you know, great transition, great song in my opinion. Kanye West was a decent song as well. I think he made that beat actually. I know Kanye West, I'm not 100% sure, but that was a great. That was a good song. I like that song. That was a good song, right? The next one on the list, number 8. I think it's number 8. I'm going with Drake. I wasn't huge on the Dark Lane demo tape thing, but you know, but it had some good stuff on it. Had Landed. That was a good song. Losses. That was a good song. 2C Slide was. It grew on me a little bit, you know. So that's cool. It's cool, you know. It's a good song, in my opinion. Laugh Now Cry Later, the single, that was really good as well. So you know, it's a good pop rap song. Sure, it's not like you know, like an Illmatic worthy level song, but you know, it was, you know, he had like 4 or 5 really solid songs, so gotta give him credit for that. Yeah, just make sure I got everything. Oh yeah, and there was a snippet of like a leak put Not Around, which was good. I heard that's gonna make the album that'll come out next year. Looking forward to that. You know, probably one of the few things I'm looking forward to. But it's yeah, so like, I gotta give him credit. Yeah, so those songs were decent. Now number 7, I'm going with Abra Cadabra. Yeah, product of my environment, definitely disappointed me a bit. That's why I didn't do a review on it. It wasn't like whack across the boards, because On Deck, Spinner's Coop, brilliant songs. Love those songs. Love them. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic songs. Love them. Love them, love them, love them. I wish Baby made the cut, because that was a good song. Show Me was a good song. And Selected Bad Boys wasn't huge and dappy, but the beat was good, and you know, and he sounded good in it as well. And on top of that as well, I want to also give credit for I think there was a Crep Cronin song that was okay. You know, again, not huge in the album overall, but you know, he has some decent stuff in it, in my opinion. And he is one of the artists who got tabs on, because On Deck and Spinner's Coop really were 2 of the best songs I heard this year. Brilliant stuff. Number 6, I'm going with The Lox. Now, if I had to rank The Lox, I'll probably go Jadakiss, Styles P, because of his verse in that Case Late 50 Rappers thing, and then Sheek Louch. But they were all, you know, I put them all in the same slots. Number 6 is The Lox. They had one of the better albums of the year. We're thinking of The Lox. That's a good album in the B range for sure. And they also had like 4 songs on it that I really liked them as well. Had Thinking of The Lox, which is, if you get rid of West Side Gun, would be a great song in my opinion. Large Pressure did a great job on the beat, and Jadakiss did a great job as well. I'm gonna go with Story. Knots killed that beat, and they all killed the beat as well. They all did a good job rapping over it. Net Worth, I love that beat. That beat is brilliant. And the other one is Gave It To Him with Swizz Beatz production and Arab music of course as well. They did a good job, killed that beat. So yeah, so like 4, you know, really good songs. Yeah, they definitely get a mention this high up. You know, they definitely put out one of the better albums of the year, and they all put in work. Or at least Sheek Louch and Jadakiss put out good solo albums, and they all did a good job on that top 50 rappers list. But Styles P taking the crown in my opinion. Jadakiss, none of the solo albums I really resonated with personally, but Sheek Louch's album, for example, the first song, you know, had really impressive lyrics. Jadakiss as well, you know, had really great stuff lyrically as well. Next on this, number 5, Busta Rhymes, Follow the Wave, brilliant song. Deep Thoughts is a good song. Slow Flow, I love Slow Flow. And what's the other one? One sec. And it is Trinity. Trinity was good as well. So like there were a few other songs that are, like Oh No was okay, off the album. But in my opinion, if you just trim the fat of the album, you might even be higher on the list. But I felt there's just too many filler songs in the album for the album to really be as good as it could have been, in my opinion. But 4 or 5 dope, really good solo songs, puts them on the list and puts them this high up on the list. Busta Rhymes is still killing shit, and he's killing shit more than most of these other rappers are, in my opinion. And the only other rappers really are next up. And yeah, lyrically as well, Busta would probably be at 5 if we were going with lyrics as well. So he did a great job lyrically, he did a great job vocally on a lot of these songs that I mentioned. And yeah, so he's been killing shit. Number 4, Uzi Vert, Lil Uzi Vert. Now, again, lyrically, I couldn't understand the song being annoyed, but yeah, he's not great lyrically, but he's got a lot of songs that I re-listen to. Like I said, I like Tic Tac with Future. I like the song Sheff G with 21 Savage off the deluxe album off Eternal Take. And Eternal Take was one of the better albums I've heard this year. Bigger Than Life is a decent pop rap song, but the highlights are Silly Watch, You Better Move and Homecoming. Those 3 songs got a lot of replay value for me personally, especially You Better Move and Silly Watch. Those 2 songs get a lot of replay value. I love the way he approached them vocally. I love the way he enhanced the songs. And again, all these rappers, I love the way he did it. Like, he was really smart with it. He worked with the right producers, and there's a reason why he's selling quite well, right? Now, sure, the Future album in particular wasn't very good, but it's not much you can really do about that. And I agree with that. That Future album was a letdown, but it's on the take. Had like 3 to 4 good songs on it. You know what I mean? And Deluxe, another 2. Oh No Water, that's another good song. So he's got a lot of good stuff. I gotta give him credit for that. Now, next one on the list, and to be honest, 3 and 4 are kind of interchangeable. 21 Savage, right? Sheff G was a great song with 21 on it as well. In fact, I think 21 sounded slightly better than Uzi did on that song. And I also go Running. I love Running. That's a great song. I love the 5th song, and also love Brand New Draco's. Those 3 songs, like, really great song. And wow, sure, he's not amazing lyrically. He saw some funny shit on there, like especially on the 5th song where he said, "What's it? Having a 69 but girl, hope she don't tell me." Like that was funny. That was pretty funny. Not gonna lie. Yeah, number 2, I'm going with Funky Fresco. Yeah, it's from a random rap duo from, I think they're both from Venezuela. I know Lil Supa, sorry, is from Venezuela. Yeah, man, like Funky Fresco, man, like that's the best album I've heard all year. You know what I mean? And big shout out to Toshi for putting me onto it. Yeah, I love that project, man. Or at least close to love it. It's like B+, A- range to me personally. Yeah, so best album heard of year. Escape, brilliant song. Impedo, brilliant song. And also, Funky Fresco, Procedes, La Champa. Those 5 songs, really good songs in my opinion. I know Impedo and the other one came out last year. Impedo and Escape came out last year, but still, aside from that, technical thing, they both were released on the album that came out this year, and so I've got to give them credit for that. So that was one of the best albums heard all year. And number 1 should be no surprise, Pop Smoke. Oh yeah, another thing, folks. Sorry, going back to number 2 would be if I had to rate, I'd probably be Lil Supa and Akapellah. But they were both brilliant in my opinion. Yeah, number 1 is Pop Smoke, like I just said. Beat the Wood 2, second best album I've heard all year. Had Mannequin, has Get Back, has Christopher Walking on it. Those 3 songs, those 3 play value from me personally. Invincible, Shake the Room were good songs as well. So, and on top of that, Tunnel Vision, what's the other one? Creature was good. What You Know About Love was a decent pop rap song. And For the Night was, it was almost there. but that's the thing, like 4 songs that were great, or like 3 great songs from Meet the Wood 2, 3 maybe 4 great songs from Meet the Wood 2. Oh yeah, Sweetheart was okay as well. So like yeah, he had the best solo catalogue of this year, and he died in February. You know what I mean? And I gotta put him at number 1 for that as well, because rest in peace to Pop Smoke. You know what I mean? I think it's definitely you could, it was definitely hard for a lot of people, especially musically, because I'm a fan of his music. I might not be the biggest fan of some of his antics, but yeah, man. So Pop Smoke number 1, for those reasons I just mentioned. Vocally, like on Show Out, he just killed a chorus, he just sounded perfect, and the fact that people like Kid Cudi are copying his sound just indicates how important his influence is, right? You know what I mean? Like from last year and from early this year. War as well, was decent. So yeah, so those are my rappers of the year. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like this video if you like it, dislike it if you don't, you know what I mean? Leave your comments down below to who do you think I missed out. Yeah, pretty dry here for hip hop. Also, Griselda didn't make the cut for me because I just don't really care for them personally. And on top of that, I wasn't huge on there. Like, some of these lyrical guys just don't have any music that I really gravitate towards personally. So yeah, so that's my top 50 rappers list. Or not top 50 rappers, this one man about the top 20 rappers of this year list. So yeah, or 19 rappers. Yeah. So yeah, like this video if you like it, dislike it if you don't. Yeah, see you later. Support your boy in the D box below. Peace.